Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? How's your day so far? Good afternoon, I guess. Good evening, depending on where you are in the world. It's awesome having you on the stream today. Thank you for joining in. We're supposed to have a cloudy sky today and really cold weather here on the east coast of the U.S. But we ended up having sunshine outside, so I definitely have to go outside later today and enjoy that as well. So that's awesome. Have you all signed up for the virtual ML.net conference yet? That's just kicking off in like less than 3 weeks now. What are the things you're most excited about for this conference? What are you looking forward to? I'm certainly looking forward to the workshop. It's going to be awesome to see Bree and Louise kind of walk through some of the core parts of the content and definitely share the roadmap as well for the library. That's going to be really interesting to see. I think hopefully I will learn some stuff myself as well. I can tell you already, just going from behind the scene here, is that we have tons of quality speakers that have submitted their talks for this conference, and I'm really excited to see what they will do out of it. So stay tuned there. The CFP is closing in about a week, and hopefully by next weekend we will have some more information for you all, what talks are going to be selected and what we'll see. So that's going to be really fun. But today, what I want to do today is look into something that I haven't had a chance to look into too much, which is GitHub Actions. I will tell you already right now that I am very bad at these kind of things, and there's a lot of frustration that goes into solving, DevOps challenges. I love DevOps, I love automation, it's fantastic. I'm just not very good at it. I have fantastic colleagues that are splendid at this, but I need to also step out of my comfort zone and try to kind of tackle these things. And a really cool thing that just kind of started evolving the last few years here is something called MLOps, so machine learning operations. It's also called AI ops and other things. And I gave some talks about this before, but I never really had the chance to dive into how we would do this for ML.net and just the library itself. There's a lot of support for this in like Azure machine learning and other places, but not so much for ML.net. So I want us to build a pipeline end to end during today and maybe also for the next stream, depending on how far we get, I guess, to kind of see some of these things and how we can take a machine learning model from just the idea phase, right, to putting it into automated pipeline, to production, to whatever environment we want to. And in addition to that also, how do we handle things like tests for machine learning, like unit tests? What are we testing with unit tests? What kind of other tests do we need to talk about? Like, do we need to talk about data tests? Testing the quality of incoming data trained in the model, the cardinality, the schema, those kind of things. How do we deploy it? There's a lot of questions. What happens with the data? Should we store the data somewhere else? Should we store it in a repo? There's a lot of questions I have personally, and I want to explore them with you and kind of see where it's going to take us. So I think to get started here, I want to show you kind of what I've done just to prep for this stream today. And I try to keep that a minimum because I do want us to walk through these things together and learn together. And as always, if you have any questions or you just want to pivot or talk about something else during the stream, kind of interrupt me, send us a chat message, whatever you feel like is the best way of getting my attention. I definitely encourage that engagement during my streams. So what I've done is create a repo for what we did, I think, a week ago or on Tuesday, which was deploy our model into a Docker container. So if you remember from that session, what we did was we created a simple web API into that core where we hosted our model and we containerized that and we pushed it to I think Docker Hub, and then we deployed that to an Azure container instance. And we saw how we could do that just manually and stuff like that. So what I did is I took that code and I also created a machine learning project to train our model, and I put it in a repo. That is right here. It is public from the best of my knowledge. So if you want to look at it later, you can do so. It's called Review Predictor, and it's in my GitHub repo, Avslotta. And if you go back and look at the code real quick so we're familiar with this, there's basically two projects here. The first one being the console application. We actually train our trainer, right? And we kind of seen this before, so we're not going to dive into this, but this is what we're going to automate. So it's good that you understand what we're doing here. So the thing we're trying to do here is take, I'm not going to open that, but a CSV file of product reviews. And they only have 2 columns, so I'm going to keep this simple. They have sentiment and they have a review. And by using ML.NET here, we can load that data into memory. We can split it into a test and train set. We can massage the features a bit here to get the featureized version of the review, so the review itself. We can append a binary classifier. In our case, we're using just logistic regression, and we are getting that going. Good morning, Daniel. Good to have you on the line. How are things in Holland? I'm pretty sure you get warmer weather than we have. We have 10 degrees Celsius right now. Cold. I think there's snow in some parts of New England, further up the coast. Nice. I'll jump on a plane and I'll be there tomorrow. So we had this application from last time, right? And it's all good. What it's printing out, wow, 20 degrees Celsius? That's fantastic. For those who doesn't do Celsius, that's about, I think, 75, higher 70s Fahrenheit. That's very nice for sure. I definitely want to be there now. Cool. So we have this model, and what it does is once we run it, it's going to dump a model for us locally. And then what we done last stream, we're not going to dive into too much right now again, is that we created a simple ASP.NET Core application here. And what it's doing is just kind of wrapping that up, taking a model and predicting whatever outcome we have. And if we run this simply and call this application using Postman, let's see, get this going, come on. It's the worst part when you have one monitor on like 1980 or other one on 4K. So if we run this one simply here, we should hopefully getting just true back here. Yeah, so we're getting the sentiment back. So it's super simple, calling localhost, calling that endpoint, passing in a review, and we're getting something back. Awesome. And we looked at last time on how we can put that into a Docker container using a Docker file, right? Like this. Build our container and push it to Docker Hub, and just call the prediction from there. So that was all good, but all of that was manual, and we were missing a lot of steps here. We were missing test, we were missing automation, and all those kind of fun things. So before we jump into like solutioning this thing, because I honestly don't really know the solution yet, and we're going to do it with you, I want us to at least think about what we're trying to achieve here. So when we look at the code, when we look at all the automation, we will also understand where it fits in. Does that sound good with everyone so far? Objections? Terrible? Wish you want your morning back? Alright. Silence is meaning that you agree with me. So, what we want to do first, right, is we want to... Oh, hello caps lock. We want to build our application here. We want to build our console application first. And once we have built our console application, we actually want to run it. Because running the console application means that we are training it, right? Yeah, I know. I should have got a coffee. I already had a cup this morning, and my wife, she didn't want a second cup, so I'm doing water. Here I'm saying as you all should drink coffee, and then I'm not doing that myself. Bad example. I'll certainly have my second cup later. User 2, where are you in the world? The US or abroad somewhere? Ohio, nice, awesome. Alright, so building application is simple .NET build, right? and then we want to run it, because when we run it, we actually run through the ML.NET console application, which is going to output that model file, the model zip file that we actually want to put in a container later and do things. So if we go down the line here, like even further down, and I'm leaving a blank in between here purposely, is that we want to run docker build here, because we want to kind of, compose a Docker image of that web API plus the model. And once we've done that, we want to do some kind of Docker push to some registry and kind of deploy it. But what do we want to do in between here, right? We've done all of these steps more or less manually before, and it's going to be a different challenge, of course, to put that into action in GitHub Actions. But what I was missing last time was 2 boxes, and the first one here being unit test. So there's no point of putting something in production or even test if that model is not going to be better than the model we had before, right? So we need some kind of test here to say, first of all, like, is the accuracy good enough for us? We need to have a minimum baseline. Is the F1 score and the kind of general predictability, is that good enough? Maybe. So that's something we need in place here, some general unit tests. We also, somewhere here, and I'm not sure where, need data tests. And what do I mean with data tests here? Well, let's open up the CSV file just to look at it. Okay, and I think I have it in here in the trainer place here, right? If you look at that right now, it's super simple. So close that. We got 2 columns, remove files. We have sentiment and we have review. And sentiment here, is 1 or 0, right? It's pretty self-explanatory. But what happens if it's like a 3 in this column, or -1 or 2? Do we expect the model creation to just work? Maybe, probably will work just fine. But it doesn't make any sense, right? You can't have like a half positive sentiment, in our case at least, or like a negative sentiment. So we need some kind of test on the data schema here to first of all make sure that our test capture any data quality issues, like where we have different cardinalities in columns in this case than we expect, so more than 2 values. We also need to capture things where we just eventually have more schemas on it. So like the data itself doesn't make any sense. We may have more columns than we expect, we have less columns than we expect. So we need some kind of data test to check that. So that's something I want us to keep in mind here. And we will do that. And just to put you kind of into the right set of mind here, there was a great article on this, if you want to read more about this, from Uncle Bob, I think. It's called CD for ML by ThoughtWorks. So if you kind of want to read more about what I'm thinking about here, where I get this from, this article by Martin Fowler, and if you search for CD for ML, which stands for Continuous Delivery for ML, you will find it. But it shows a fantastic pyramid here on how to think about testing for machine learning. So it's taken the whole concept of testing and put it into a different perspective. Like, we're very used to seeing things like this, like the top one here, right? Like end-to-end test, integration test, and then maybe some unit tests on the bottom. But as you can see here, what he has done, he has put multiple triangles into the same triangle. So at the base here, we have things like unit test for the application. So things that we are fine for, like the web API needs some unit test. We probably need some contract test here to check that. But in addition to that as well, he's added things for the ML pipeline here. So maybe for transformations, making sure that when we featureize the review text, that actually this is done in a way that we expect it to be done. We may have, again, a performance test for the model. We may want to check for bias and fairness, those kind of things. And we also have these kind of data tests here as a pillar to make sure that our incoming data that we train our model on is actually fair and makes sense. So we want to achieve all these things in our pipeline. It's not only good enough to just put it in production, because we kind of know how to do that. I don't know it right now, but we'll figure it out. but it's important not to miss this aspect of operationalizing any model to production, right? So let's keep this in mind when we walk this through. Cool. So does that make sense so far? Any questions? Anything that stands out, you feel like? I'll draw some arrows in the meantime. It's always very satisfying drawing arrows. Nothing better than a pretty schema. Alright. Cool. So let's jump into cool. Awesome. So let's jump into GitHub Actions. And I personally haven't had a chance to look at it too much. I spent a little time looking at other things. Cool. Awesome. Awesome, yeah. So I haven't spent too much time with GitHub Actions, honestly. I spent a little time with Azure DevOps, but I mostly work in like TeamCity and Octopus Deploy, those kind of things. So it's going to be a little bit different for me and new, which I am excited about. But the way you kind of work with GitHub Actions is, of course, in GitHub. And what we need to create is a workflow. So a GitHub action is made up of a workflow and then made up of jobs in between, and each job has steps. So for example, within a workflow, we may have a workflow to build application and do everything we said here, putting it all the way to production. And we may have one workflow for production, I think, and one workflow for test and training or those kind of things, right? That's at least how I think about it. And then the steps here, or the jobs within the workflow, could be building application, running it, and deploying it to a Docker container, those kind of things. And the steps is going to be, of course, the CLI commands we want to execute to get that happening. So I'm going to start off, I guess, with a basic workflow here. They are similar, yes. So they all use YAML files, Daniel. That's kind of as much as I know. So they use YAML files to get a lot of things done, which is awesome. So we have some familiarity. I personally think that GitHub Actions is going to become very, very popular. So I think it's something we definitely want to learn and dive into. So when I was thinking about this stream today, I was like, should I do it in Azure DevOps or GitHub Actions? And I just thought that it's more future-proof doing it in GitHub Actions, and it's also a way to get out of my comfort zone to learn something new. Luis Quintilla has done a fantastic article on this, I think about 2 years ago, on Azure DevOps implementation. So if you kind of want some basics as well on this, you can definitely read his blog post as well. But hopefully we'll be able to add a bit more context to that today as well, and how you do it in GitHub Actions. So I'm gonna jump ahead here, and I'm going to create my YAML file here. So if I create like a simple .NET Core workflow here, it looks something like this. And I'll zoom in a bit actually, because it's a little bit small. Thank you for the follow, Dan. I'm slowly getting in the way to Twitch affiliate, so I appreciate all your follows. I think I'm halfway there. Trying to do this more often now, twice a week on Tuesdays and Saturdays, so definitely tune in on both those days. I'm hoping to get an interview actually with the program manager for MLOps, Bree Ackman, who's fantastic, next week or the week after that, and kind of talk a bit about the preparations for the conference and the workshops she's going to do, and her thoughts on the library. Cool. So we see here, it's kind of made up of different steps here, right? So we have the on command here on like on push. So anytime we push anything to this branch, we want to execute this workflow, which makes total sense. But as we'll see later, for MLOps, it's not going to be enough, because like in DevOps, that makes sense, because the only degree of change you have is going to be your code. Code is the only thing changing really. But think about the ML world. What are those things that changes? Well, the code for your training application changes. That's definitely worthy of a new build. But your web API or the application you're consuming it with can change. That's also worthy of a change. any machine learning model in today's world is going to get obsolete very quickly if you don't retrain it on new data. So time is a factor here as well. Like if it's gone like 2-3 days, weeks maybe, and you're seeing the predictive power decrease over time, that's also a reason to retrain it. Changing your data schema is a different way of also doing that. So there's a lot more triggers in an MLOps world than in a DevOps world on things to do here. So just keep in mind that this is a great start for us, but once we go down the pipe here, we do need to think of other triggers as well to make sure that we keep our model and everything up to date. Cool. So we see here that we have jobs here, and the first one is going to be build. And let's see, I think we can probably give it a name as well, but it doesn't have a name so far. We have steps here. So the first one is set up the core, and then we have do the restore. We do a build, and then we do test here. And we don't have any tests so far, so we're going to, I guess, skip this one for now. But we do want to try this first to make sure that it works. Good guess, Donal. No, I am from Sweden actually, but I'm from Scandinavia. I know my accent definitely gives it away here. I've been in the US for about 3-4 years now, almost 4 actually. Loving it so far, but definitely miss Sweden. Are you from that area, or just happen to know Danish people? Let me duplicate this as well. So let's look at the paths here a bit. All right. Well, there you go. I'm okay being called Danish. It's fine. Scandinavian people are awesome. So is everyone else, of course. But I'm sympathetic for the Scandinavian people. Oh, really? Wow. Good IKEA. I've heard this is a nice city, actually. I've never been myself, but it's a good part of Sweden. I'm surprised IKEA is close to. I want to go get some things at IKEA for like the weekends, but you can't go anywhere. So yeah, small city. All right. So what we want to do here is that we want to go ahead and build the trainer product first. So I'm going to call this here. Let's see. Can we give a job a name? Because what we want to do here is, thank you for the follow, Donali. Appreciate it. What we want to do here is we want to build a trainer application first, and we want to run it, get our model. We want to copy that artifact over to the API, build the API, start doing the Docker things, and so forth. So I think the first job we want is like just do training, right? So let's look at GitHub Actions. Well, I guess we can just try it, honestly. Build jobs. Okay, maybe we can't give the name. Name a job. So you'll see me Google a lot here because this is still gonna be new for me here. So, and if you have the answer, honestly, feel free to just put it in the chat. Appreciate that as well. So, okay, the name of your workflow, that's fine, but we want the name of the job. Well, I think we can start by running it, and then we'll see kind of what's going to work here or not work here. So first of all, I think what we need to do is define the path to the letter store here. We can see that it's going to be in this folder right here. So let's at least say that we're going to go in there, and we need to restore this project here. So let's try that. That may be completely wrong, or it may be right. How do you mean, Daniel? Elaborate further on that. Let's see, and then we'll do this one here. Okay, so we're doing a restore, we're doing a build. So let's try to do this. Yes, exactly, yeah. So we definitely need to kind of have some weights here to make sure that we don't start deploying without the model. And I think, yeah, that's going to be interesting actually to see how that works. We learned something new. So we should have a workflow now, okay. Correct, yeah. And I also want to, like, one of the things I want to look at here, right, is we don't want to deploy a model to production if it's not better than the previous model. So we want to make sure we keep track of the accuracy and F1 score and those things, and then compare it with whatever we had before. And you can do it in Azure ML, but I'm not sure we do it with GitHub Actions here. Okay, so this failed. Let's see why it failed here. So it's very similar to Azure DevOps, which is nice. And it said that when it ran it, it failed. Okay, so it doesn't think that we have something called this. Yeah. So what is the issue with the path here? Do you think it's a path issue? Let's see. 1 second. Let's see then. We'll say for job name, would that be just build? Yeah, that's kind of wondering as well if that's the thing. Let's see. So let's go back to this one here. So one thing I noticed here is that, oh, well, this is the issue, right? It needs to be after a store first of all. That's going to make it better. So, yeah, I think it's called, you're right, called build because of that, Dan. That's a great point. So, for those who doesn't know on the line, you should follow Dan Luring because he's my colleague and he's like the DevOps god. So, thank you for joining in today, Dan, because he's going to make my life a lot easier. Let's see if this works though. Let's see if we can do this. It may not like all these namings here, but we're gonna try. If it doesn't like it, we'll know soon. Well, Dan is in the process of starting streaming, and so Dan, you maintain created a repo, right, for Reach, which is a tool for Docker containers, I think, right? And I think you are going to start streaming about that, which I'm super excited about, and like streaming about Go and other things. Okay, cloud network analysis, nice. Perfect, thank you for putting that in there. Alright, let's see. Refresh this one. So that one failed too. Okay, so we can't name it a fun name. That was, I guess, expected, right? So we'll call it train model. Oh, no, we'll call it train model. So I want to just make sure we can build this first before we're going into like the complicated stuff here. Because if there's no point of trying anything fancy before we can actually build it. And I think we're pretty close to getting this built. Okay, one job in progress. Are you thinking about Dan's repo, Donnelly? I think Dan can elaborate on that. Whoa! Look at that. We managed to build a .NET application. Good. We're done. Go and enjoy your Saturday, guys. Alright. That is awesome. Nice. So we got the basic stuff done here at least. I'm happy. Now we can start doing some fun stuff. Alright. He's cooler than me. Alright. So let's look back at our repo here, right? So we've done this. we have not done this yet. So I think the next step is going to be to run our application, to train the model and see where we output that data. So let's do a new one here, and let's call this train model. Okay, we can have space here, that's good. Yes, okay, so Donnelly, this is a great question. So yeah, so ML.NET is a machine learning library for C#, so like for .NET developers, and you can go and look at that on the .NET repo, and it's called like .NET Machine Learning, and you can use it to create your own models, and there's samples repo out there if you want to do samples. So what we've done today is, you know, what we've done in the past stream was to actually build a model using that repo and then deploying that to a web API for consumption, so you can predict like sentiment and reviews. What we're doing today is taking this one step further and actually looking at the whole process of like, let's put it into production, let's automate it, let's use some DevOps on it. So if you feel like it's not machine learning enough, apologies. We're taking it one step further to look at how we can really put this in prediction in action. But definitely follow me if you want to do more about machine learning. I will do some joint streams actually with a gentleman from India, and we're going to talk about machine learning from like start to finish, applying it to .NET. So if you want to learn more about that, definitely keep tuned in. Okay, so we have trained a model, and cool, yeah. I think a lot of people have had machine learning in Python in school, and that's kind of what we want to try to, fix, because we want to do more of this. Okay, let's see. I wanted to actually look at this command a bit. Can we specify some fun stuff here? So if we do .NET run, when we run this application to do that, we can just do, yeah, exactly, project files here. So let's define this one here. Let's make sure we run the right one, and we should be able to do this. Let's see, .NET run train model. So hopefully what this is going to do is start training the model, and we do have some console outputs here in the trainer. So you can see here when we run this, we're just going to hit this main method right here, and we're going to start pushing things out to the console, like starting training and then training complete, and we'll see the accuracy in F1 score. Not sure if that's going to be the case when we output it here, but I feel like it should be pushed out. So we should hopefully see some of this output when we train it, if this works. I really believe in myself, you can hear that, because it doesn't work. Okay, so we need a uses or run key for this step. Alright, so what did we miss here? Well, we didn't need that for the top ones. Okay. I wonder if we... Do we need like... I guess we need to figure out the build artifacts here and run those. This is going to be an interesting part here. I wish we could see more into the actual thing here. Let's see if... Can I look into that? Okay, this is just like a... This is actually not a failure in itself, it's just... .NET run, it's fine. So we have... Oh, okay, I see. That's why. We had a typo in here. This is why I love JAML. Doesn't tell me that. Well, they told me actually, so... Thanks, Dan. You have trained eyes. Alright, let's see if this is working better. Hopefully that should be better. Let's see. So how many on the line today are using MLOps in production, any kind? Anyone doing something fun? We actually, for the conference, what we're going to do is we probably will have segments in between the talks for like 5-minute segments, and we're going to have like some interviews with clients across the world that uses MLOps in production right now, and that's going to be really cool to see and kind of hear more about their experience and what they've done. All right. Well, welcome to the stream then, user 2, if this is your first time seeing it. It's a really cool library. I encourage check it out. Okay, so it worked just fine until we get the train model here. Just see here, parsing, cannot open file. Okay, that's good. Okay, so now we're trying to do something here. So you can't get the data file here. And I feel like what we need to do here is publish this first and then try to do this. So the data file here is kind of here, and on build it's copy always. So we'll go to the bin folder, and that should be good, but it doesn't seem to be able to find it right now, and it's looking in the let's see here. Why is it looking in there? Review predictor. This is interesting. I feel like we definitely want to publish this first or something to get everything in the right order. Do you have any suggestions on the line how we want to do this? Let's see. Let's do a run. I'll do a quick search here in the meantime. Because I think we just don't have our directory set up properly, and that's causing an issue here. Yep, that's building, first run. Let's see. So we could do the publish. That's going to... I think we need a publish just to get everything in the right order at least. But I also do think we need to figure out where this goes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Dan. I was thinking about the same thing, that I would like to inspect the directory structure. I mean, this is also why I said in the beginning that there's a lot of headaches with this, right? And it's mostly because I'm bad at this. But I think interesting enough here, you see, yeah, so we definitely were able to hit the DLL here, because we get the starting training output right here, and that's coming from the application. So it built correctly, it was able to find the DLLs correctly. The issue is the CSV file here that is copied out in a bin folder, but we can Google that, right? GitHub actions inspect directory structure. I mean, that's kind of what I don't like, is like you don't really know what's going on. What's going on behind the scenes here. It's making it complicated, right? I wish it was easier than this. So I'm wondering, we have kind of two options here. We can copy this in here, but I'm not sure that's gonna work, because what happens is that when it goes in here, what it's gonna do is go in this folder here, and it's going to try to run this one. But you see here that we have the structure we have right now is view predictor, which is the repo, and then we have this folder right here, and it's looking for, yeah, exactly, the working directory is going to be this directory then, and I wonder if we can set that maybe to this directory and run it. I think that's a great idea then, actually. Let's try that. That is a good point. So let's go here and try that. So I think we can do, okay, working directory, and I think we can do this, and I think we can do this then as well. Does that look good to you guys? Let's attempt at least. I will think so. We'll try at least. We can always go back in and change this. Cool. Okay, let's see if this is running. Nice. Well, it's good that it's orange for a bit at least. That means it hasn't failed yet. The longer it lasts, the better it is. So we'll see. So if this works, the next thing is to figure out is how to copy that model out to something useful. The fact that it's taking longer, it's a good thing. See if you can actually, oh, look at that, we can actually go in here. Come on, open up please. Okay. It built just fine. I can't open up that one, but it's doing something. I think it's running on a Linux one. I think I specified it. Oh, look at that, it worked. Look at that. It's running on Ubuntu one, I think, as well. So, yeah, I guess so. Wait, what do you mean with that, Luis? The longer it runs, the more featured the app has. The longer it runs, the more it means it works. And welcome, Luis. Good to have you here. Okay, so we at least get the output here, right? We have everything we wanted, and we're getting the things nicely outputted here, which is great. So far, so good, honestly. And to answer your question again, Dan, I think we specified this, so it runs on a Ubuntu image. It's not Windows, because this is .NET Core. It's cross-platform. You can run it on whatever you want to, which is fantastic, I think. Alright, so we do have that. So right now, what I expect us to have, if we duplicate this again, so I can go and navigate around here a bit, is I expect us in this folder to have a model zip file. Or it may also be in artifacts, I'm not sure. So what we need to do here is yes, yeah, I guess so. Oh, that's true. Yeah. But we got it to work. I mean, it was pretty quick as well. I was surprised. It wasn't too slow to build that. So I'm hoping we get a model.zip in this folder right here. In the artifact at least. And what we need to do here is we need to copy that over into our API project here. So in our API project here, we want to copy that over because we have this model zip right now. That was 18 hours ago. And in our artifacts, not of course in our repo, in the same structure, we want this so that when we build a container file here, that gets included. Because when we build this project right here, it's going to put that into the published folder. It's going to be part of that Docker container, and we should be good, I think. So, how do we copy files here? And should we actually create a new job here, honestly? So we have the steps here. So let's do we want to, I almost want to create a new job here. Oops, sorry. What happened there? It's flipped screens. Let's create a new step here. So what we want to do here now is copy. Well, I guess we could do two things here. We can either try to copy it over, but I think what we want to do is upload artifacts here. So I think there's a way to upload artifacts that we want from this project, and then we can download those artifacts. On the other side, we want to build the web API. I think so. Before we do that, let's create a job for building the API, just to see if that works. Let me see, should we do that first? Because all we need to do really is honestly do the Docker build, because that's going to do all the restores for us, I think. If you look at the Docker file here, Docker file, the Docker file itself is going to pull down the latest image of the 3.1 SDK here, or an image with that, and it's going to restore the API, and it's going to publish that. And when you publish this, we're going to have that model.zip come along into the publish folder, and then we're going to create this container. So we don't need to necessarily build this separately, we just need to do this Docker build here. So that's, as long as it's in the right place, I guess. So let's see how we can do that using GitHub Actions. Docker build. I think we probably have something in the marketplace here for actions that we can use for this. So let's see. So we can probably do something like this, where we create a new job. We call this build Docker. Yeah, I know. Exactly. I'm curious as well to see how we're gonna get that zip file over from one place to another. I'm going to try to build the first two parts first, like the training we built ready, and let's try to build the Docker compose first, or Docker build here, and then let's see if we can bridge those together to get that file over. Because I think that's probably where we're gonna have a lot of headache. Oh, I want to see that. Configure and manage your workflow. Exactly, yeah. So that's actually something I was looking at this morning. Let's see, persisting flow data using artifacts. Maybe it wasn't where the link we were going to. So I think what we end up doing here is using this upload artifact, right? And then download artifact. I think that's what you were saying as well, Dan. And what we probably want to do here, right, is try to kind of define a path to that model.zip file and upload it, and then download another side here. Do you want to try to upload it first before do Docker compose or Docker build? It's worth trying, I think. So we would, I guess, copy this one more or less here, right? Let's do it. I'm curious if this works, so let's do that. So create a new step here, I guess. I think all the not problems, but like the making it, for me, it's very difficult, I guess, to see the structure sometimes on how to pass things around and copy this. So these are usually the hardest part with DevOps and those kind of things. Okay, so I think we need that tabbed in. So we can call this upload model zip. And let's do this. And the name is going to be model zip, I think. And I'm not sure about the path here, honestly. Where is that going to go? When we build this, it should be in the bin folder, but actually let's run it locally and just see kind of where it goes. So if we stop the API here, and if you just train this model locally here, and we'll see where this model is outputted. If I do that, it's going to kick off the build here. It's going to train the machine learning model locally right now for me. And starting training, right? That's what we saw on the build agent as well in the cloud. And let's see if we get training done here. Okay, good. So that trained it. And if you go to the folder structure here and look at the trainer, we don't see a SD file here. Welcome back then. It goes into the debug and then this folder right here, and we'll see it here. So I'm wondering if we need to specify this at all, or if it's by default it's going to figure this out or not. We'll try, I guess, what it says is locally first, but I'm just wondering where this is going to be executed in. If it's going to be executed where the artifacts are, or something else. Because that may be different. Does it say anything here about the path to the artifacts? So reads the value, homework. Let's see, use upload artifact action to upload. Okay. Kind of want to see where this is kind of ending up, right? This is a good example here. Upload artifact. So that will be everything in that folder. So I think we need a path actually. So let's try it. I mean, we try it and we can keep reading at least. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Let's change the music a bit here as well. Let's see if it wants to change. So the music you listen to is Music to Code by Carl Franklin. It's supposed to get your alpha waves going. Alright, so we kicked that off. Let's see if that worked or works, or if it doesn't work. So it's doing the training right now. Cool. Let's see if this is working. Let's go to the logs here. Okay, so now we at least have a thing here. So hopefully that's going to do something useful. Okay, that worked. A great question, Dan. It's not legal actually. You need a streaming license. So I have a streaming license for Carl Franklin's music. So if you want to have music in your background, it's a great question. Make sure you have the license for it. So that's why I don't have, Spotify on or something like that. Streaming license. But if you are interested in this store, for example, you need to get. You don't only need to get this, but there's a streaming license here somewhere in his online store, and you can get that somewhere here. Well, you need that if you want to use it in your streams. I kind of like it. It's very nice to have something in the background a bit and soothing. Alright, so this doesn't work, and that's good because I apparently did it wrong here. Okay. So we have the wrong path in some way, and the question is just, did I just do the wrong slash or not? // So it's trying to look actually directly in the review predictor, which is good. Let's try to change that up to /. And I don't think we need the first one. Let me kind of see. Ooh, it's actually not going to be in the debug one, that's why, I think. Because I think what we did was we built the release configuration right here. So when we run it... Let's try release here. There must be some way though to like see the artifacts here that we create from something. Because right now it's difficult to really like understand. Like this could be like a 2-second thing to fix, right? Like I want to go get this thing and put it here. If you just had like some kind of keys on like how it's going. So let's see. Can we? Is there any way to like do anything with this artifact? Okay. So we have this marketplace here on the side here. Upload artifacts. GitHub upload release artifacts. Okay. So we are doing that. There's a version 2 as well. We should probably use that. But we can probably use a wildcard here as well, honestly. Let's see how this one is doing. Okay, it failed. Same thing. Okay. Alright, so we're not getting any luck there. Step 5, okay then. Let's look at that. Thank you for having a look at that. Is this in this... Let's see, is it the same? Can I search for that here? Let's see, persisting, downloading, or deleting artifacts. Not sure it's going to be in here or not. To download artifacts, use the artifacts drop-down menu. Okay. So you're saying I can go and do it here, or? Or where would that drop-down menu be then? Or is it, oh, maybe in here? Let's see. Are you thinking about, I will wait a little second here to get you to answer, but are you thinking I can download from right here or from somewhere else? Let's get the logs here, right? Download these artifacts, drop down menu, select if you want to. Let's see. The preceding steps give the context. Let's change this to version 2. Under project actions in left. Okay, let's follow the instructions here. Click actions in the left sidebar. Click the workflow. Okay, let's go back here. Actions. Yep, that's the workflow. And on the workflow, click the name that you want to see. Okay. Use the artifacts drop down. Oh, no artifacts are generated. So that's not good. well, there was nothing happening. Let's try this though. Can we do this maybe? Can we do like a wildcard here? Yeah, exactly. So let's do can we just upload like every artifact here instead? Path to artifact. Do we do that with a dot, or do we do that with everything? Okay. So yeah, you're right here, Dan. It's gonna go to the artifacts place, which is good. So we'll see it there. And if we want to just upload everything here, would a star be sufficient? I don't think so. Would a dot be sufficient? I'll try. Yeah. I think the path is wrong as well. It's just the question is where does the path go, you know? Is it what's the correct path? I would love to see a bit more there. Yeah, that's true actually. Well, the first, yeah, you're right. There's two. That definitely could be an issue, right? So maybe you want to go up one level first. I'm just wondering if, yeah, how that's creating that. Let's see if we can upload everything here or not. It's uploading it right now. It's not failing yet. So what I'm trying to do right now is upload everything there so we can see the structure at least. Hopefully that will at least help us to figure out where things are. And this is kind of the frustrating part, right, of doing these things. It's just figuring these things out. Perfect, look, we're getting something here. Yes, we got artifacts. It's not going to be pretty, but it's going to be something at least. Okay. Oh. Okay, well. Oh, okay, of course, because that's going to be the name. We gave it that name. Let's look at that. Because we gave it model zip as a name, but it actually is, of course, more stuff in there. That's done. Let's show that in folder. Let's go and look at that one. Nice. Okay, so now we have some stuff here. So we definitely want to go in here. And we want to go in here. And we have two folders, right? I'm not sure why we're going to go in this one, but I think we probably... Sounds good, Luis. I think we probably have to do this to stream over a couple streams, honestly, which is awesome. But yeah, have a great day, Luis. Catch you later. So we see here all the things going on right here. We copied over this one in here, which is fine. But we still don't see the model file that we want here. So is that going to be in the release folder? That's the question. So that's definitely an issue, right? We're not seeing the model zip file anywhere. So when we run this and we train this, it should be generated by itself, and it should be available for us. And the fact that it's not makes me wonder where it's going. Yeah, probably. So then we're looking at the structure right now. We can. This is all the things I think we have available for us, but it's not being generated, and I'm trying to figure out why that is. So we have this one, but that's been there before. So this is the one I uploaded yesterday. So that's not going to be of interest to us because that has to part with the API one. We're gonna copy that over. But the fact that it's not going in here, well, actually here it is. I just missed it when I was doing that. So it's going to be on our root level, which I guess makes sense actually. So we only need to go as far as this to model zip, and hopefully that should work. Let's try that real quick here. I think that probably is actually going to work here. That's great. Thank you all for helping out, by the way. It's a team effort, this. You learn when you do it. So I think we want that, right? It seems like that's where it was. We don't need that. We'll remove that. We'll call it model zip still. And we'll start that and see if that's going to give us something specific or not. Awesome. And if you're not following me already, I would definitely appreciate a follow. Gonna get me all the way to affiliate, and that'd be awesome. Again, I'm doing this on Tuesdays and on Saturdays. I think I'll probably move the Tuesday one a bit earlier to maybe like 9 a.m. in the morning, just to get the day started earlier, I think. But your input is appreciated when it comes to that. Okay, dependencies is working. Come on, work. So while we're waiting for this to happen, what's your favorite streamer so far on Twitch or on YouTube? Do you have a favorite one that you follow? Have you started doing more, following more Twitch streams since the pandemic, or did you do it before? Look at that! I think it worked. Let's see. Let's wait for this to finish. We have something. This is good. So what is the size you expect it to be? 4.5-ish, okay? That looks good. And if you download this just to check. That's a good question. You should definitely, Daniel. I definitely want to see you stream. Yeah, good. Dan, I usually just kind of look in the app for science technology. Most of the good recommendations come up there. Alright, so let's go into this one here and make sure we... Okay. So the only thing I see here right now is that we have 2 levels, so we don't want that. We definitely got the right one here, so that's fantastic. We are getting things working, but we don't want... Yeah, John is great. John is organizing the conference with me for virtualmo.net. So we talk a lot every day nowadays. He's fantastic. He has some fantastic videos. And if you don't follow John on YouTube yet, and you kind of want to follow, you want to learn more about ML.net, definitely follow John's YouTube channel. I think this is it. That is definitely not it. Let's see. Yes, I'll give a shout out to John. He is fantastic. He's doing a lot of these cool videos. So if you want to learn more about ML.net, you should definitely check him out. All right, back to this. Yeah, you can definitely collaborate if you want to. All right, so we want to make sure it doesn't end up in a file here. So if we... Can we just remove this one? So right now we have like a zip file in a zip file. So I feel like just removing this one probably would fix that issue, right? Because his name was apparently not mandatory. So let's see if that works. I'm always happy to collaborate, Dan, if you have something in mind. I just think it's really fun to... yeah, have to do that too. I just think it's fun to, first of all, hang out with all of you on a Saturday or Tuesday morning. I think the cool thing with streaming, right, is that you get like pushed to jump into things that you haven't done yourself, and you don't need to prep so much as you would with like a presentation for a conference. You can instead have this collaboration between the streamer and the audience, and just kind of solve things together, learn things together, and expand, which is I think a great medium. When I started doing streaming like in February, I was kind of just prepping for conference talks all the time, and I was like doing slides, and I was it was not as enjoyable for anyone, I think, neither me or the people watching. But I think this kind of more laid back and just learning is more fun. Okay, artifact works. Okay, so now it just does that. All right, I think we have it at least. We can try to figure out how to download it now. So we have the artifact uploaded. Let's put back a name here, and we'll figure out how to get that later. So we'll do name. Actually, we don't need a name for it, it's fine. I think it's a zip file all the time anyway. So now we want to download this artifact in the next step here, and we want to put that into the container. So let's go look at download artifact, GitHub actions. I think we could probably copy that. Actually, probably just easier to go to the marketplace, honestly, and just find it here. Download artifact. I don't think it was this one. Let's do download build artifact. Okay, so we want something like this. Okay, good. So we want the destination path. I think I'll be streaming probably for 20 more minutes, something like that. I do want to get to a good stopping point. I think we'll definitely continue this material the next stream on Tuesday, because I still want to add those data tests, and I want to add those unit tests, and a lot of other things as well. But I'll be online on Tuesday for sure. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is first of all create a new job here. So we can call this Docker maybe, and we'll also run it on the Ubuntu machine or agent. We're on our own now. The guardrails are off. We want steps, right? Stop doing that, please. Steps. Okay. Perfect. So let's see. We could probably just copy this in here, I think. Copy. Put that here. And do some fine tuning of this. Uses. Width needs to be there. Okay. Let's skip the name for now, it's not mandatory. And then path. So, optional? Destination path, okay. Well, so this is the fun part, right? So we need to figure out where to put this. So, we need to have it here, because it needs to replace this one in some place. And unless I can remove this, I think I should go ahead and remove this one so we don't have a fake one. And like that, if it fails, it fails. It doesn't like pretend to fail. Well, actually, let's see. If I remove it, let's keep it there for now. No, I'm gonna remove it. Is this removing it? Yes. Make sure it actually works. Okay. So that works good. So now we want to put it into review. Let's go back and look at that path. We just want to put it into this path right here. And if that works, then the next step should work just fine. And I wonder if that's enough. Let's remove this one. Should we try to run this first real quick and see if it blows up in our faces? And then continue after that. Name. Download model.zip. Let's try that. Let's see if that works. It'd be awesome if we can get this far. Cool. Who's the furthest away from the US on the line right now? I know that Daniel, you're in Holland. Is anyone else further away from the US? Romania. Alright, nice, Dan. Yeah, thanks, Dan. That could be useful, for sure. Okay, so this is interesting, right? This is what we were worried about. Dan luring. The Docker one runs before the rest. Okay, so that's good. You can't find the workflow artifacts because there was nothing there, but it runs before the other one is finished. And that's not useful, right? Because the model we're training is going to be created in a train model step, and there's no point in running the Docker one or downloading that artifact before that's complete. So there must be a way of chaining these things together. Wait for GitHub action job to finish. You can't do anything else than Googling things right now, right? I'm sure there's a dependency thing of some sort here. Okay. So it seems like we can do jobs, composer. Okay, so we can do that. That sounds good. So we do needs tag here. Cool. So that should be, I guess, here. Maybe. That's jobs one, right? I feel like... Let's do this. See if this works, and we'll call this other job was called train model. Does that look good to you all? So what we're trying to do here is we don't want to start a Docker build step here until we actually have finished the other one first. And I think that's the syntax we want. We can try that. If it doesn't work, we'll try again. So actually, when I started my career, actually my degree is in chemical engineering, and I did my thesis in organic synthesis for pharmaceuticals in France. But I'm very impatient, and people that work with me or know me knows that I like action and things happening. So when I finished my degree and my work in the laboratory, I just couldn't wait for chemical reactions. The things take like 2 days or weeks before it finishes. Try to get the result, and I was so frustrated with that lead time. And then something failed, I had to restart it, and it took forever. So when I started my career, I actually went to GE, General Electric in Sweden, in the pharma industry, and I transitioned into a software engineering job. And I was just kind of blown away by the constant feedback I got and the quick turnaround, and that was just so much fun. Okay, so that was awesome. All right, look at that. It looks like it's working, but the question is just where did it go? So I hope we went there. Oh, nice. I think it's so fun, right, that people in the software engineering industry, it's coming from so many backgrounds. Of course, there's some really smart people coming from computer science backgrounds, but you don't need to have a computer science degree to get started. You just need to be persistent, I think, and like learning a lot, because that's what we do, right? Every day we learn something new. Right now we learned... Wow, Dan, do you have a degree in music? You're like one of the smartest people I know in our company, and you have a degree in music. Well, I guess intelligence doesn't have to do with degree, but still, you know so much about so many things. That's awesome. I didn't know that. Okay, so we can download the artifact. That is good. Yes, music is math. That is true. Alright. So we have that. So now we actually want to build this. So what I'm hoping here is that by doing this step, we pull that model artifact and put it in the right folder. And when we do the Docker build now, it should work. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Alright, so we should be good to do a build step now. Let's see. Masters in library and information science. That's awesome. Wow. So you sound like you definitely have a good background for machine learning and AI, user too. With all those like kind of data related topics a bit. That's pretty cool. I heard that librarians actually are like in demand right now for like a lot of the data science and machine learning things, because that's something cool. So let's see how can we build Docker container GitHub actions. Let's try to build one here and see if that works. So I think with like simple things like this we should be able to execute. So we should just be able to do like a new step here. Call this step build container, Docker container, and we want to run. Let's see what it say here. Runs using Docker. Okay, I think we should be good with just these two here. Let's try that. And that. So our image file is called Docker file. I think they renamed this to run since before. Okay, what am I missing here? Missing something. Name, uses, with. I am missing something. This is an action. Okay, that's a different thing. Action is different than in this case. This part, Docker build GitHub action. I think we can probably use an existing action on the marketplace, because I think that's kind of what we want to do here. So this one builds and tags and publishes everything to Docker Hub, I think. So we can probably just use this one, honestly, because this would do it for us. So okay. So I think as long as I set up the working directory properly here, it should work. Let's try it. I need to set up some secrets here as well, so I'll do that in a separate window in a bit here. Okay. I'm not sure this is gonna work, but we'll see. So where we want to go at least is, let's read that a bit here. Okay. Yeah, is this the one we're looking at already here? Build tag, Docker build push. Okay. Let's go to this one if you want to look at that instead. I think there's probably plenty of these actions available that we can choose from. Marketplace, GitHub, marketplace actions, build. Okay, Docker. Docker build push. Okay, so we want to do this, I think. Yeah, let's do this. This is perfect. Looks better. So we want to do that. Registry, sure. That sounds fine. Docker file is fine. Cool. Let's try this. And this is this should be just fine. Yeah, I was thinking like that's a great question though, but like it says docker build and push. I'm assuming that what it's going to do here is when it does this, it's going to build it first and push it. And that's, I think we're getting 2 in 1 here for the price of 1. That's why I'm trying to use it. But I agree with you, that looks like it's pushing it as well. But we want to push it eventually, so I think that's okay. Okay. Wow. This is definitely finicky right now. Let's try that. So users and with okay. So what we need to do here is name this thing. So let's call this, in my case, my repo is going to be Asote, and we want this to be called maybe review predictor, right? And it's going to Docker, and we need to add some secrets. And I will do that in a separate window because I don't want you to have my password, but I'll just show you where you do that. So if you want to do secrets in GitHub Actions, the way you do that actually is go to the, well, let's go to repo here. So you go to a repo, and I think it's in settings and secrets right here. And I have no secrets right now, but what I'll do here is I will add secrets here in a separate window, and I will look at how we want this to look like. So we can probably call it Docker username and that, and then I'll add another secret here for password. Let's see if this works. So these secrets are going to be encrypted in your repo, so no one's going to access them, which is awesome. And then you can use those secrets here when you want to use them in your workflow. That's pretty cool, I think. It's a nice way of doing that. I think there's some limitations on how many you can have and those kind of things, but still pretty cool. So if the only thing we need to do right now is, I think we're in the wrong working directory here. So if you run this, I think it's assuming that it will find the Docker image here. So I think we need to change the working directory to make that work, just like we did when we built the application here, but to a different working directory. So let's put this here, and I think we need to go into this one right here. Excuse me. So I'm a little bit curious about this, honestly, because I don't really see how we're going to get the model zip into this place here. I feel like we're missing something. But let's try it. Let's try it. I think it's going to complain if we can't find the model zip file because we removed it from the repo. So if it's not there, it's not there. And ooh, did I step Docker? Okay, that's fine. I should wait nicely to another one. That should be good. So that's running. Nice. Does anyone have any fun plans for rest of the weekend? Thank you for the follow, Yugdav. Appreciate it. I always love when I get to have some office gifts. Look at that. Exactly, Dan. That's what I'm not sure about. I don't know if it is. And that's kind of what I'm worried about. I don't think it is. Since we don't have a model zip file in that place, it will break and probably throw up if it doesn't find it, so that's good. But I think we definitely need to work on the build context here. Nice, Daniel. Good job. I'm glad you're going to hackathon. Who's organizing that? Is it machine learning in general, or is it specific to MLNet? Upload. Okay, Docker here. Oh, okay, nice. That's a good cause for it. It's a good topic. Okay, it failed, so that's good. Okay, so this is just because I can't find this. Yes, we got the training model succeeded, but we failed on the published registry here, and it can't find a Docker file right now, which is the issue. So it's trying to. Okay, so it seems like it should be able to find this, because this is the repo name and then this is the controller name, and it can't find a Docker file. Is it just because it's named differently? No, it's here. I wonder if we need to have a using here on like you see here we uses the checkout here. I think we need to do that just to like make it actually look at the right things. But again, then we go to the fact that we probably won't have the model zip here in this one. So like if we do, let me put that in here. If we go ahead and let's see, name, publish registry. I think you have more than one users tag. If you do users here, like this. Okay, we can't have more than one usage. So that's not going to work, at least. I guess that's a different step in that case. So we could do like we could set this up. I feel like we're missing something here though, and I'm getting frustrated on that because I feel like we are missing something critical. I think I think I know what I need to do right now. What we need to do first is pull down the checkout thing again. So what we're gonna do here is that we will say that steps here. We'll fetch checkout again to make sure we have it as a base, right? And once we have that as a base, we should be able to download this artifact and put that into this checkout folder, because I think that's what it's doing, right? And then we should be able to do the working directory and build a container. That makes sense to me. Does that make sense to everyone on the line that's viewing? I think that's what we're gonna try at least. It's worth a try. Cool, because it's just going to check out the files again, download the zip file from the previous artifact, and then work on that. I think that's a good way to try. Awesome. Nice, nice, nice. So Daniel, what are you going to for the COVID hackathon tomorrow? Are you going to build something specific, or is it like, do they give you like here's a data set, predict like I guess transmission rate or something like that, or are they giving you some more specific things to do, or can you just choose I guess whatever you want to do? Keeping fingers crossed here, hoping it works. Okay. Let's look at this. Cool, okay, so to give you a data set at least. That's nice. Okay. Okay, that failed. Still the same issue though. We can't find the Docker image here. But we are, I think we're getting closer at least. Okay. So I think the login worked just fine here, but they can't. Are you thinking about like how you sign into Docker, or because I mean Docker is just you can go to docker.com maybe, and you can sign in here or create your own account here, so you have your own repository. Thanks, Daniel. I definitely want to know how that works later. Yes, you can like sign into Docker here, and I have a repository ready where I have things. And if I actually open up Visual Studio Code here, it just nicely shows that later as well what we have there already. But that's not what we're going to do right now. We're going to figure out why the path is not working. So there's obviously something in the path here that is wrong. And is it because we path? Do we just need to skip this one maybe? Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, you dev, and that's kind of what I was trying to do here. So if you look at the path here, what we're doing is we're going into the directory, review predictor, and then a /docker file, and that's kind of where I expect it to be. Because let's duplicate this one, remove those. If you look at the repository here, okay, Dockerfile property. I felt like I did that then. I did this path right here. So I thought I did that. Is there another one you think? Try adding password, check the path. So the path, this passwords and everything is in the secrets file here, so that should be all good. Under the Docker build push with block, okay. Let's see. So we have this here. This is kind of what we're basing it on, right? But okay, location Docker file, defaults Docker file. Ah, okay. But we put okay, present working directory. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I feel like I did that here. That's a great point there. And we put the working directory like this, but maybe we just need to put a Docker file location instead. So instead of doing that, we probably just want to do this maybe. Or directory. It's not going to be the root here. Is it? Why is this not working? Because I feel like we're in the right place here. Like we are in the right folder. This is where it's going to be. So the fact that you see review predictor, Docker file. That's the correct folder, I think. But apparently not. Do we want to feel like we want to try to add some more arguments here and try that instead? Is that what we're going to do? We could do Docker file here, and well, that's going to be Docker file. Yeah. Okay, let's do directory at least. I think the Docker file seems to be the correct one here, but I think we can definitely try the directory. So instead of working directory, let's do that. Yeah. Thank you for forking it. That's a good try. So directory, I think, should be this directory, right? And we can also specify the Docker file here, Docker file, because that should be it, right? Docker file, I'm just gonna copy this even though I see that it's the same one, just to make sure we don't have any typos. View predictor. Okay, let's try that. Let's see if this works. Yeah, we will see for sure. Well, this is what you're learning, right? You're learning when you are facing challenges or obstacles. If everything just goes according to plan, that's when you don't learn anything. So, okay. Thanks, Dan. It's great to have you on this stream today. Get some more intel on this. Alright, so what we're gonna do here is wait for this to run. Hopefully we're getting something built here and something working. Okay, so let's go to the Docker one here and see what it's doing. Okay, still failing. So it's going to the same place. Unable to prepare context. Unable to evaluate symlinks in Dockerfile path. Okay. So it's definitely doing the same thing as before. So working directory or directory was kind of doing the same thing in this case. It wouldn't have been a different thing, I think. I'm wondering if not specifying it will work actually. I'm going to try that real quick. If it's like happens to be in another place just. What we can also try to do here is actually just uploading all the artifacts we did last time and downloading it to see kind of how it looks like. I think I'll do that actually. I will just, let me do this. Let's check this out, download this file, and then let's just upload the artifacts here. Because if nothing else, we'll see what we have to work with. And hopefully we'll be able to find the right one here. That worked last time. It definitely helped us, so I think that's worth a try. Publish uses with upload. And what we'll do here is we'll do dot here. We'll just get everything. Let's try that real quick. Because without seeing what we're looking at here, it's very difficult for us to just kind of guess, and guessing is annoying when you do it too long at least, right? But I like what I see from GitHub Actions so far, honestly. They start quick, they are fairly good logging, I think. This seems to be a good marketplace to add things in. Seems very similar to Azure DevOps, I think. So I see a lot of similarities here, which is good. But what I've heard so far is that there's just a lot of things you can kind of connect together here to get things working. So I'm really excited to see how we can automate some of these processes going forward as well. It's really cool. Alright, so it's training the model again. We've seen this happen multiple times. And we're definitely going to have a follow-up stream on this later. Because what I want to do as well, again, is I want to get that data that we're outputting on the model now, so like the F1 score and accuracy, and I want to be able to have some kind of feedback mechanism here to like stop the train the Docker step if that is not better than whatever we had before in production. We may want to like integrate like MLflow or something like that to this process to get that to work. I'm curious how that's going to happen. Alright, so now we are uploading that. Okay, so hopefully this is going to fail regardless, but at least we'll get these artifacts here. Nice. So let's look at the artifacts and see the structure. Hopefully that will give us a better idea. Okay, so that's 32 megs, so that's good. That's more like it. Alright, so we have interesting enough, we have the model right here. I guess that's the previous artifact, maybe. Okay. Let's... Well, the interesting thing here is that it's only one path in, which makes sense. The Docker file is right here, but the model is right here. So I think for the model we definitely probably need to put in one more level. I like that we're seeing it there though. I like that it's actually there, because that means that something is going to work for us, hopefully. So that question we had before about where it's going to end up, that's good. But I think instead of... well, I wonder if we want to put it like this. The second thing though is that I feel like it looked okay. I'm going to remove this for now. While we're looking at that, let's go back to the artifact here and look at that real quick. So the only thing I'm worried about here is that this model here is actually not coming from the download artifact step. It may just be the previous artifact upload step. So I'm not sure if this consolidates multiple artifacts into one, or if it's happens to be something else. That's the only thing I'm wondering here. Oh, it worked. Let's see, I want to go to yours. What did you do to fix this? So you said you got it to work? So this looks like it's failing still. Dan, what are you saying here? So you need the repo root directory in the build process, or just what's in the review predictor subdirectory? I need it to be in a right place here, and the right place being in the review predictor folder. Let's look at this real quick again. Repo root Docker file. Okay, maybe, yeah. When you see that could be it. That could be it. But the thing is, we're not getting the model file in here, but we're getting a model file in here, and I think this is something else here, and not what we want here. Yep, that's very interesting. I think what I'm going to do here, I think is read up a little bit on this and kind of figure out what's going on here, and by next Tuesday we can try something. But I'm going to try Dan's last attempt here before we end this stream today, because that's definitely worth trying. So Dan, you want to try review predictor, right? / Docker file. You want to leave everything else the same? Okay, so we download it, we do that. Okay, I'm going to try that. Hopefully that works. You will be my savior, Dan, if that works. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a multi-stream topic, I think. So we are getting closer, at least, to pushing this to the cloud. And once we get that working, we can start adding the meat to this. Because right now we're just having the skeleton, but we need to add the meat to our pipeline and do all the kind of fun feedback mechanisms. So definitely tune into the next stream, where I hope to get into those kind of fine-tuned stuff. But yeah, we'll see then. Thank you for joining. And it's been awesome so far today. I'm really happy you all enjoying this stream. It's always so much fun to talk to you. I learned a lot myself here. It's awesome. If you haven't followed me yet, follow me, and you'll get notification on your phone or on your email when I'm live, which hopefully be useful. Let's see, but I want to check this works first. If it doesn't, that's good. If it does, then that's amazing. Okay, setting up the job. Checking out those things, downloading that one. It's taking longer. I expected not to find the model zip file if it actually found the Docker file. It definitely found the Docker file, Dan. I think you are an hero here, honestly. Because this is taking longer than I thought it would. Wow. Okay, it didn't work, but it found the Docker file. Damn, you're a star. Look at that. So it found the Docker file, but I think what it's going to fail on here is probably not be able to find the zip file here. Ugh, go away. Why can't I see you? Can I download log files here? Okay. Can't. Okay. No source file specified here. Okay. So we have some issues running the Docker thing here. So step 3 out of 10. Copy C's proj file. And 1 second, I'll have a look in just a bit. I want to check if where this is doing it here. So it seems like this whole copy here is not working properly. And maybe that's because we need a better working directory. I'm not sure, but it's something to look into for sure. So you think you need to change the working directory, Dan? So do you think we should change that in a Docker file, Dan, or in the flow itself here? The flow itself. Okay, I'm getting intrigued now, so I'm going to keep going a little bit more here, because it would be stupid to stop when things are almost working. So you think we could specify that here, maybe? So working directory. And if so, what could we? Would it be like review predictor? It should probably not be right there, though, I guess. Name. Let's see, what is breaking here? Okay, we can't use that with... Yeah, true, okay, so we'll do it here. Directory. Do review predictor. Copy this one, make sure it's correct. So you think that should be good, right? I think that looks good. Give you. Let's try it. Okay, awesome. All right. Well, we try to run. I do want to check out your repo, YG, since you have another workaround, maybe. Is it? Let's see. View predictor. So you said they had another workaround. Let's look at that. That's all good. Send me a link later if you want to, but that's all good. Hopefully this will work though. So, okay, right there. That's where we have it. Train the model. Going somewhere. Fingers crossed, guys. I think the best case scenario we can come in today is that it will break because you can't find the zip file. Actually, the Docker container step should work anyway, but calling the container probably won't work. But let's see if we just get this to at least do something here. Fingers crossed. If we could at least get to like a green stopping point, that would be awesome. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, it went past that step then, and everyone else. It's doing something. This is pretty awesome stuff, guys. I'm learning a lot right now. Alright. I think we may actually have this working. Wow. Look at that, guys. It went to the registry. Let's check this out. Because the chance here right now is that this is not going to work because we may or may not have the zip file in there. So we don't have, if we don't have the model in the container now, we will not be able to call it. Let's try that real quick. And I think what we can do is go to VS Code here, and we can refresh my repos here. And as you can see here, I have a Docker Hub here, and I have my repo and review predictor. And I'm not sure. Can we check like? I would like to see like when this was added. Is there a way to check that real easily? Latest is 4 days ago. So that's the only thing I'm worried about. Or is this the one? I guess this is probably the one. I just didn't name it latest in my tag, so what we could try to do here at least is to start this one, right? Can I do this? I guess Docker. Okay, so that seems to be the right one at least. So we pushed it to the Docker Hub. Thanks, Dan. So it's a Docker run, right? We need to do here. I am not a Docker person, but I love it. And I guess we will channel 5000 to port 80 on the container, right? And it's a tag view predictor. Dan, I'm almost referring to you right now. Does that look like a Docker command to you that we can run? I'll try it. Okay. Okay, I don't need a T. Well, seems to have done the trick anyway. The question though is, are we running the latest one, or are we running the dev one? Do I need to just put a tag here of like, let's stop this. So you said I don't need a T here, but do I need to do like that to get this? Okay, append a tag, and I guess the tag here would be 96867EE, right? Dev 96867EE. Okay, couldn't find that locally. Do I need to pull this? Pull image. Okay. Okay, nice. Oh, we don't want to pull, we want to run this one. Okay. Something's going on here. Port is already okay. Okay, so it's running, that's why. So let's do that, stop this one. And if you're fancy, you have CLI commands. If you're like me, you can stop and start things in the UI. Alright, so that's running. Okay, so good. We have something running. That's good. So let's try to call this one. So I think we have Postman open here somewhere. And we know that we are going to hit the 5000 port, right? So this is the moment of truth, guys. If this works, that means that we're going to get true back. If it doesn't work, it's going to blow up. And we'll see the logs. Okay, it blew up, but that could be because of different reasons here. It could be the SSL here. I think I don't have SSL enabled, so okay, I get nothing back, which probably means it blew up somewhere. Yep, I got an internal error, and that's okay. And let's look at the log files here. Okay, so it probably, yeah. So you see this right here? This is the issue, right? So we haven't been able to bridge between those two worlds right now. We've been able to train the model. We have been able to build Docker image and automatically push it into the registry, but we have not successfully copied the model zip file to the context of the Docker file. So when it's built, it's not including that file in the repo. And that's a great, I think, stopping point honestly for this stream today, because we set up the piping in general. We just need to figure out how to copy this machine learning model over to the right place so it's included when we build it, which I think would be great. I think we're honestly we've done pretty well today, and thank you so much for just helping out in general. It's been really fun. I'm planning on continuing this on Tuesday, I think, and figuring out how we can bridge those two. And then I want to add some data tests, some unit tests, and look into some more meat, I guess, on this pipeline. So that should be a really good follow-up stream as well, and hopefully we get something working then. Do you all have any questions before we call it a day, guys? I hope it was useful today. I definitely learned a lot. It was enjoyable. Cool. Well, I wish you all a fantastic day, guys. Thank you for joining in today. I had so much fun, and I hope to see you next Tuesday, and we'll get at it again. And by the end of a couple of streams here, we will hopefully have something working and learn a lot more as well. And any feedback or any input we get from this, I suggest we provide that to the Azure DevOps team and to the MLOps team to kind of give them some ideas of what we're struggling with or running into. So thank you. But have a great day, guys, and talk to you next time. Until then.